Soul Rising. Here's an overview of the complete Super Jesus 47 game. It seems it can be labeled and described as a purification ritual. A purification ritual. So, there's two reasons, overview-wise, why I want to play this game, or why I want to keep on recording these videos of myself saying these words out loud and posting them on the internet. Two reasons. Or three. How about that? One reason, or the first reason, is what you can be labeled and described as an astral reasoning. The astral reasoning is because I want to bring you all awareness of who and or what the cosmic Jesus is. Hence the name Super Jesus. I want to bring you awareness of who the cosmic Jesus is, or the Christ who is a lot more higher and more comprehensible than this base white Jesus, in which is a lie that you all believe in. You follow what I'm saying? This is the reason why I keep posting these words on the internet and saying these things out loud. I want to bring you awareness of who the cosmic Jesus is. Random question to myself. So, if your game is titled Super Jesus 47, yet the details of it within the four layers, all four layers have a 4 and a 7 within them, or an important 4-7 meaning. An ethnical 7-2, which will make it a 9 in total, and it has an ethical 4-2 on each level, which will make it a 6. And you put the 4 before the 7, or in this case, the 6 before the 9. So why not call your game Cosmic Jesus 69 or Cosmic Jesus 69? Why not call the game Cosmic Jesus 69? Well, thing is, I'm going to. That was the plan. Thing is, this whole Super Jesus 47 is like the first level of the game. But once you all get it, if you decide or if you would like to start playing it, well, you're going to be bound to eventually. Especially you so-called white people who only desire to see us perform entertainment that involves black folks senselessly beating on themselves. Why do you all think it's so profitable? Yeah, the only kind of entertainment these so-called white folks, which are in reality the opposite genetic class of the original original people, genetic modifications, with those people who are forcefully in charge of our world, the only thing they wish for us to perform as entertainment is us senselessly beating on each other. This is why it's so profitable. What do you think the profits even come from? Whose faces are on the money? Do you see black folk faces on the money, or do you see a white folk person a face on the money? You forget, we are not even leaders. We are being led by a being, the true God of the universe. That's our actual government, our actual leader. They are just pretending to be it. And then they made us ashamed for following our true God's instructions, the life force of the universe, or you could say the God Christ life force. That's what you can call it as well, the God Christ life force. And the reason why I'm playing this Super Jesus 47 game, which will soon be a Cosmic Jesus 69 game on your lives right now currently, first reasoning, the astral reasoning, in other words, is to bring you awareness of this here Cosmic Jesus, meaning to help you learn of it. The more you learn, the more you rise. And the more you rise, the more you go up in the spirit. And the more you go up in the spirit, it gives this here God Christ life force the chance to work to and through you and throughout you all to establish its moral grounds within our reality. The more you learn, the more you rise. The more you rise, the more you go up in the spirit. And the more you go up in the spirit, the more the God Christ life force can move to and throughout you all to reestablish its moral grounds within our reality. That's the whole point of the game, astral reasoning wise. To help you see how you can practice your natural moral standards. Second reason, or another reasoning, the ethereal reasoning. But before I go on, I'm going to say this to summarize the astral reasoning. Think of the Matthew 5 scripture. I believe it was Matthew 5. I don't want to mistaken it. But Christ said this: you cannot remove splinters from someone else's eye while you have planks in your eye. You follow what I'm saying? The astral reasoning for me wanting to put this here idea on the internet, or this idea into the world, is because I desire to see the world remove the planks and or beams, as it says in the scripture, from their eye. And then the ethereal reason, that's the astral reasoning right there, to remove the planks and or beams from your eye. That's the astral reasoning. The more you learn, the more you rise. The more you rise, the more you go up and out of this hell. And the more you go up and out of this hell, the more you give the true God, Christ life force a chance to move to and throughout you all to establish His moral grounds within our reality. In the ethereal reasoning that I would like to play this game, or the second reasoning, astral being the non-physical, metaphysical reasoning for wanting to play, or the reasoning that I have in my mind, in other words. In the physical reasoning, to remove the splinters from the children's eye, or to remove splinters from someone else's eye. To remove the splinters from someone else's eye are the reason why, or the ethereal reason as to why I wish to play this game upon us all. Astral reasoning, to remove the planks and the remotes, or planks and or beams from our eye. Ethereal reasoning, to remove the splinters and or motes from the children's eye. Or you could summarize it like this: my astral reasoning for wanting to play this game, or my mental reasoning, or the reasoning I have locked in my mind in place as the goal and or the cause. You see, soul liberation. The astral reasoning is soul liberation. And the ethereal reasoning is global child manumission. That's the reason why I want to play it. I want out of hell. The longer we sit around and do nothing to get out of hell, the longer we stay in it. Even if I have to post a bombardment amount of videos, remember, none of you have to watch it. The oppressive body is obligated to. And the more they hear these words, the more they face and or experience this forced purification ritual. Which is the third reason I want to play it. Purification. Why do I keep saying purification? What the word literally means: the process of making something spiritually and or ceremonially clean. The process of making something, anything, spiritually or ceremonially clean. Check out some details of this game right quick, because this is the third reason I want to play it. The astral reasoning is soul liberation, and the ethereal reasoning is global child manumission. And the third reasoning, purification. Stop the enemy from being what it is. Stop the enemy from being what it is, or destroy the enemy from being what it is, or take the enemy's power away from them, or just defend ourselves against them. Check out some details of this here Super Jesus 47 game for a moment. Overview of it. And I actually have more simpler names for the last part as well now too. Overview. So, it's a game consisting of 4 layers, you see. I got 2 to 3 reasons is why I want to play it on you. I told you what they are just now. And also the 4th reasoning. I'm going to say this too. The 4th reasoning, I'm going to play it. Yeah, it's always going to be 4 to some degree for me, or to some degree with me. So here's the 4th reasoning. The 3rd reasoning is because I wish to stop and or destroy them. And the 4th reasoning is because we don't wish to compete with them. They only wish to compete with us. I'm going to say these words all out too, before I go on to say the 4th reasoning. I don't hate these so-called white people. I don't hate anyone. Actually, it's impossible for hate to even be in my heart. It's impossible. Remember, they have to brainwash us to make us believe there is hatred in our hearts, and the hatred, it is our engine. Hatred is our engine, which gives our vehicle its abilities to go, that we as the driver consciously controls. Here's what I see. I see what hates me and what does not hate me. I don't see color. I don't see race. I don't care about your ethnical backgrounds. I'm actually getting ready to destroy them. I don't care about your ethical grounds. I'm actually getting ready to destroy them. I don't care whatever your agenda is in life. I don't care about anything you have going. You want to know why? Because everything outside of the soul's principles truth is evil. And the only thing I desire to see in my reality is the soul's principle truth manifest all throughout it. You want to know why? Because that is what's right at all times. And what does the word right literally mean? What's morally good and justifiable. So the soul's principal truth is what is morally good and justifiable at all times. And this whole Christ game I'm playing on you, Super Jesus 47, this the completion of it, or giving you the overview of it, it is to establish these morally good and justifiable grounds into our reality everywhere permanently. You no longer being the evil in which you are, causing so much disgust and disruption into our lives, and removing our comments when we comment on any kind of video, or we're just intervening on our lives on a daily basis as you do. This may work, but here's some details about the game though. I don't see what hates me. I don't see race or color. I only see what hates me and what does not hate me. The fourth reason why I wish to play it, like I said, to stop you completely. Third reason is because, man, I'm just tired of this stuff. It's not right. Second reason, splinters, motes. First reason, soul liberation. Here, details. So, it consists of 4 layers, right? Each layer has a specific title and a specific ethic 4 and a specific ethnic 7 that you need to know about. Now, in the details of the game, there are 2 outside of the 4 and there are also 2 outside of the 7. And when we are ready to advance to the next game, if this works, period, it's going to just be titled Cosmic Jesus 6-9. The Christ game. Because the Cosmic Jesus is the real true Jesus, whereas your base earth level Jesus is not. That white Jesus is a lie. White people are not the center of all moral authority. White people are not the source of all moral authority. That is a lie. White people forced us to believe they are the source of all moral authority when they are not. White people are not the source of all moral. Moving forward here. The white Jesus picture is blasphemous. So the first, they all have titles too. Like the group of 4 has a title. And then the group of 7 has a title as well. And then the 2 outside of the 4 and the 2 outside of the 7 also have specific titles. And here are the names of them. On the top layer, the top realm or the top part is called, or it's going to be targeting the spirit. And it's called the reawakening. And the reawakening essentially is to bring, once again, awareness to who the true cosmic king of all kings truly is. And also awareness of your current standing and or your current mental condition globally. Am I generalizing all of humanity? Yes. Very much so. I'm just looking at what you are showing me. I am looking at what you are showing me. I have no other option but to see what you show me. I have no other option but to hear what you tell me. I have no other option but to smell the metal gases you are putting in the oxygen to shorten my lifespan. No other option. So, I'm going to tell you this game. I'm going to play this game on you called Super Jesus 47 to tell you how terrible you are in hopes and praise. Well, not with the idea in the air that will give you a visualization of how terrible you people are. And eventually, the other family members who hear it will eventually hear the idea regarding how you are and eventually come up with ways to stop, destroy, take your power from you, or defend against you from being it. Does that make sense? What the entirety of this game is for. Moving forward. So here, the first detail of this game here, like I said, the first layer has a title. The 4-2 has a title, and the 7-2 has a title, or the ethic 4-2 and the ethnic 7-2 has titles. The first layer is titled the spirit, or it's targeting the conscious mind, and it is the reawakening portion of the game. And the reawakening is to bring you reawareness of who and or what the cosmic Jesus truly is, or the true Jesus, or the true Yahweh Shai within us all, the God Christ life force, in other words. to bring you re-awareness of this, and your re-awareness or awakening to, and or, like I said, the idea of what your current mental conditioning is right now at the current moment in time. You follow me? Mentally, I mean globally. Like I said, the measurements y'all give me, the frequencies y'all give me. What's the Ethic 4-2 titled? The Ethic 4-2 is titled "A Four-Corner Mental Spirit Prison," and the two outside are fear and ignorance. Two outside of this box are fear and ignorance. Two outside of this box are fear and ignorance. So, and then the ethnical 7-2 are titled "The 7 Belief System Pillars to be Dismantled by Any Moral Means Necessary." And then the 2 belief system pillars outside are Yahusha's belief system, and then Yahuwah's belief system. Yahusha's belief system pillar and Yahuwah's belief system pillar. Or Yahusha's belief system pillar and the world government's belief system pillar. Or the God Christ life force belief system pillar and the devil's belief system pillar. Or the life force belief system pillar and the death force belief system pillar. You can just say that. Because the death force is the government and what the government is using to inflict so much death in our reality. Y'all know what to do. I mean, they're not going to go away themselves. They're going to do the only thing they live to do, which is ensure we all fail at everything and suffer to death. They are the devil's sword, the devil's sword. So they do and or act as only what the devil wants them to do and or act as. And these details are going to give you some insight as to how you can spot it firsthand and maybe do something to stop it. Maybe. But then again, you all enjoy it. Here, moving forward. So, then you have the second part of the game. The second part of the game, which is the soulful part of the game. Now, this here is the proposition. The soulful part of the game is the proposition. Like I said, this is just the overview of the game in its entirety. This part of the game is the proposition right here. The soul's truth in which to accept. What does it consist of? Or what is the soul portion of the game? The reincarnation portion of the game? Or the proposition of the game for you to accept? If you would like to accept it, you don't have to. But eventually you're going to be obligated to, because the world needs to be better. And you are the only things that can make it be so. So, the 4-7, 4-2, and the 7-2. Ethic 4-2, Ethic 7-2 of the soul's proposition. What are they? Titled, this 4 styles of spiritual communication, with spiritual offense and spiritual defense being the 2 outside. And then you have the 7 dimensions of thought power, which in reality are the 7 major chakra gates, with the 2 outside being the soul star chakra and the earth star chakra. And thus, once again, the overview of this portion of the game is the acceptance of who and or what the cosmic Jesus truly is. Take these words with you. To summon the Christ Father in the Spirit's house is to establish order upon the soul's grounds. Order. The Christ Father itself is the order. Remember, I'm talking about angel, cosmic Jesus, angel, angelic, archangel Jesus. That's what I'm talking about here. Archangel Jesus. And what is an archangel? Archangel, the word arch is Greek for chief, and chief means master or ruler of a group or a society of people or a tribe, a soul tribe, in other words. So in other words, and then before I go on, then the definition of an angel is a spiritual being. You see what I'm saying? So think about this for a second. Chief spiritual being, chief spiritual being. So I'm talking about Jesus's or Yahushai's chief spiritual form. You follow what I'm saying? His chief spiritual form or his chief soul tribe form, which is what I was getting ready to say next, the soul tribe. So in other words, the true Yeshua or the true Yahushai or the true Yahusha, this here is the chief spiritual being of our soul tribe. You follow what I'm saying? The principal heart of hearts, principle of the universe. And when you resummon this here character or behavior into the mind heart spaces of the spirit's house. This here King of Kings, this here Archangel Jesus, or this here Archangel Yahusha establishes moral grounds within our reality. This is another reason why I'm telling you this here proposition. Another reason why I'm telling you the second part of the game, the soulful reincarnation part of the game. It's the proposition. It's the truth. Once you accept that this information is true, and you're ready to believe and or have a firmly held belief in it, because in reality, all of the information that I am grabbing from all over the place, I am simply grabbing all of this information to tell you one thing: the life force of the universe is our actual government, not the fake government of the world today. The life force within us is our government. Therefore, this demon should have no rights at all to tell us what to do. But it fought for them for eons, since Genesis, with laws. And now, these so-called white people, which in reality are the recessive genoclass people, the recessive geneity people, who in reality need to have their genetics reversed so they can stop being a problem. These people are the new face of the devil's games. These so-called white people are the new face of the same devil's games, the same devil that we have been dealing with for eons. They are the new face of it, and they enjoy it, and they're proud of it, and they ain't gonna stop being it until they are gone. Somehow we need to get rid of them, huh? This game is going to somehow get rid of them. A purification ritual. What am I purifying? What I'm getting ready to tell you about next in the next part of the game, the resurrection part of the game, when you coming back to your divine senses, because the King of all Kings is your divine senses. The King of all Kings is the order. The King of all Kings is all 9 of the chakra systems and the spiritual and the 4 styles of spiritual communication and the spiritual offense and the spiritual defense all in one. So by me telling you about the King of Kings, about the soul proposition or the soul reincarnation portion of the game, which is my favorite part of the game, might I add you, because it's all internal works. This destroys and or erases the first part of the game, which is the 4-corner mental spirit prison and the 7 belief system pillars, with the 2 outside and which needs to be dismantled by any moral means necessary, except for that one, which is the King of all Kings belief system pillar, the 8th one. You follow what I'm saying? The second part of the game is going to eliminate that first part of the game. And let me tell you why. Because when you get to the resurrection part, because once you go through the reincarnation, the resurrection part comes. In other words, the application of the which you have reincarnated as, or what you have accepted as your new style of moral character and behavior. You follow what I'm saying? The resurrection is to get ready to apply it now. In other words, you're coming back to your divine senses because you accept the truth that the cosmic Jesus is the real one in the real way. John 14:6. You follow what I'm saying? So, cosmic Jesus, resurrection. The cosmic Jesus resurrection part now. So what happens in this one? What's the overview of this game? The third part is the resurrection, like I said, coming back to your divine senses. It's ethical 4-2, titled The Four Forces, the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. The 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. You can have a 4 fundamental forces of anything. Anything. So, the third part of this game's Ethic 4-2 is titled the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. Now, the 2 outside are Yahusha's or Yeshua's or Jesus Christ's a force of behavior or resurrected behavior. You follow what I'm saying? That's the first one. And then the second one outside of those 4 is the devil's force of behavior. You follow what I'm saying? Now, what's the significance of each? When you are utilizing Yeshua's, the King of all kings, force of behavior. All four of those aspects are in their original state, combined in one within you, and are being worked and are able to work and maneuver to and throughout you. You follow me? Meaning, the four fundamental forces of human behavior are as follows: the positive force of human behavior, the negative force of human behavior, the balanced force of human behavior, and the dead force of human behavior, or the space you are in force of human behavior, or the environmental force of human behavior. You follow what I'm saying? The energy you get from your environment to push you to do what you do. And depending on, out of the first three energies, if they are being corrupted by, like I said, the other side, then your establishment will also be corrupt. But here's the thing: if you're choosing Yeshua's or Yahushai's or Yahusha's fundamental force of human behavior, then you are choosing to have, or to keep, your positive energies positive. You're keeping your balanced energies balanced. As far as your negative energy, it'll be in its most subtle state, which is just the force within you, giving you your abilities to be you, and then the environment itself. So in other words, to summarize this more thoroughly, Yeshua's side, or Yeshua's force of human behavior, is it benefits your mind, heart, body, environment. Yeshua's, once again, I'm trying to make sure I get the words correctly stated at all times. Yeshua's force of human behavior. Yeshua's force of human behavior benefits your mind, heart, body environments. Whereas the devil's force of human behavior, it hinders your mind, heart, body environment. Details. It tells you to see your positive energies as corrupt or evil. It keeps you in balance, and it keeps your negative energy in control of your life, meaning materialism, flesh, physical things. You follow what I'm saying? This is the whole point of that portion right there. So if you choose the devil's force of nature, if you choose the devil's force of human behavior versus the King of Kings force of human behavior, or if you choose the Spirit's force of human behavior versus the government's force of human behavior, then the devil's force of human behavior, or the dev force of human behavior, will have you driving towards materialism and material goods versus the immortal spirit's characteristics. You follow what I'm saying? That's the whole significance of the resurrection part there. The four fundamental forces of human behavior. It's to choose the spirit's way versus the devil's way. Choose spiritualism versus materialism. Long story short there. And then the seven, what are they titled? The ethnic 7-2, what's their title? The ethnic 7-2 is titled the Seven Gates and Characteristic Spirits. Actually, there's multiple names for this one because like I said, or like I've said in time past, the seven characteristic spirits are the gatekeepers. That's why it's called the Seven Gates and Characteristic Spirits. You follow what I'm saying? Because the seven spirits are the gatekeepers. What are the seven spirits? What you would label and describe as the seven deadly sins. You know, greed, lust, gluttony, and all of them. This is just an overview, so I'm trying to move faster with it. So, the seven deadly sins are the gatekeepers. And what kind of gate are they keeping from us? The chakra gates. The chakra gates are what the gatekeepers are blocking us from realizing and blocking us from seeing. You follow what I'm saying? As long as they are there, we won't be able to see how the chakras work properly. You follow what I'm saying? And this is why the four-corner mental spirit prison in the beginning is consist of the following details: the left corner being vanity, the top corner being jealousy, the bottom corner being sloth, with two outside of sloth being fear and ignorance, and then all the way at the right corner you have wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust, all working together in the same spot. Why? Because to prevent you from doing what is morally good and justifiable is the overwhelming goal of this government here. Reason why is because what's morally good and justifiable is naturally built in us to do. And this government, this force that we're up against, it only wants to go against what we want to do. This is why it has to learn so many things about us and learn what we like and learn what we like won't want to do, just so it can have something to go against. It just wants to have something to go against. And since we are just here in the reality in which it came from, in a sense, we're just here for it to go against them. Just pure evil. Only wants to destroy, burn, and devour. That's it. Now, when you take this concept and apply it to the physical, you'll notice that these 7 gates and or characteristic spirits, this part of the game here, which can also be titled the gatekeepers and or the 7 deadly principalities, you'll also notice how what I'm saying is accurate. These here core sins in which drive you all to do what you do, because let's never forget, where are the ideas coming from? Where are the ideas coming from? Can you skirt past that question and defend evil for all the days of your lives? How much longer are you going to keep skirting past that question to defend evil for all the days of your lives? Remember, everything that you know currently is what the oppressive body taught you. Everything. So everything you do is to preserve their way, because that's what they taught you to do. Don't go against the grain. Don't think outside of the box. Be in the box. Be imprisoned by it. Enjoy your imprisonment. It's good for you. Right? Ain't that what they teach us? Enjoy your slavery. Slavery is good for you. You need slavery. It's a character builder. Isn't that what they tell you? And character is the mental and moral qualities distinct to an individual. The mental and moral qualities, well, according to the studying that I'm doing here, my mental and moral qualities already come set up with something that's built in it. The peace, love, unity, and advancement thereof. So what do you need to construct me to be anything for? You don't. You're lying. Get out of my life. Get out of my way. You won't. Okay. So here. Y'all would consider this complaining, wouldn't you? Don't care. Just going to get the truth out here. Moving forward. So, the ethnical 7-2 of the game are the 7 gates and characteristic spirits, and the 2 outside, once again, being fear and ignorance. Moving forward now. Those right there, that's the core charge to the gatekeepers' ways. In the physical world, the gatekeepers will be what you can label and describe as these so-called white people, which in reality are reverse black people. They're reverse black people. That's what they are. I don't even like to consider you as black people. In reality, you so-called black people are just low-class angels. That's what you black folks are in reality. You're low-class angels. White people in reality are reverse black people and low-class angels. Black people are just low-class angels, period. That's what you all are. Something needs to be forced to improve by any moral means necessary. That's what you all are. So now you're going to have me, in the way I am, fighting you in the spirit every day of my life until you are something in which I don't need to fight anymore. Yeah, I'm going to beat you all in spirit. Not going to physically touch you, not going to physically harm you. I love you too much to see any harm or befall you. But as far as what you are internally, nah. And now, due to the way you are internally, spiritually, I am going to be your worst nightmare. I am your worst nightmare in spirit. Where did I get that line from? So you don't be all afraid of me and whatnot. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. The only black character in the game. Well, real melanated man in the game. Before he beat the crap out of you in any kind of way, before he beats you up in spirit or beats you up on the Tekken game, he'll say to you, I am your worst nightmare. Well, I'm about to take that and apply it to real life. In spirit, I am your worst nightmare. Because I'm going to use all these combos and techniques and all these peace piles and love bombs, unity spells, and advancement traps to beat you up in the spirit so I don't have to beat you up anymore. And the higher you go up in the spirit, the more or the sooner the King of all kings can finally reclaim his own frickin' mind heart space and drive his own frickin' body in the right direction. Remember, we don't necessarily need any of the titles in their names. I'm just using it because of how much I love and respect you all. I'm just using these names because of how much I love and respect you all. But in reality, what is it truly? It's just a divine character trait. They are just divine character traits. That's all they are in reality. Doesn't require any names, doesn't require any forms to address it or disguise it up. In reality, it's just information of how to move the correct way using all that you have out here to label and describe it. And how it will make even more sense. You follow what I'm saying? Therefore, the last part of the game, the fourth part of the game, the reestablishment now. The reestablishment portion of the game. What does this portion consist of? It should be self-explanatory and it's in the title. Now, I finally got more simpler titles to call this part of the game. And the ethnic 4 or the ethical 4-2 for this part of the game will be called the 4 fundamental forces of purification. The 4 fundamental forces of purification. And what are these 4 fundamental forces of purification purifying? The 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. Because remember, once the devil loses control over those 4 fundamental forces of human behavior that you have, meaning when I do everything I need to say and everything I can to convince you all to choose divine characteristics over the devil's characteristics, there goes the devil's control over you, and there goes your better behavior in reality. And next thing you know, all the wars come to an end, because here's the thing. You cannot fight the wars if you do not have the people to fight the wars. You cannot send people into a country to kill civilians for no reason if you do not have the people to send into the countries to kill civilians for no reason. If you lose control over the people, you lose control over the game, or you lose preservation over this game. This is why I'm going to target the people. I love and respect the people, but as far as what they believe and what their beliefs are, fall down, burn up, be incinerated, taste the sword of my mouth. Actually, no, pause, right? There's so many. Taste the blade of the burning sword, which spews from my spirit soul's essence into your reality to bore down unto the foundational grounds, blow it up, wipe it clean. The 4 fundamental forces of purification. And what am I purifying? The 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. And how am I purifying them? By convincing you all to choose divine characteristics over the devil's characteristics, or to choose divine characteristics over the government's characteristics. Choose their natural, core, innate, inborn, instinctive characteristical traits over this death, war, hatred, division, and stagnant driving, impudent, unnecessary engine of destruction. It's characteristics. You follow what I'm saying? It's embedded into all of your information, all of it. Their curse, why they wish to curse you, and how they can curse you. It's established in all of your foundation. All of your foundations. So, what are the 2 outside for this here Ethic 4-2? They are titled Yeshua's Foundation or Yahweh's Foundation. Choose Yeshua's Foundation. Yeshua's Foundation is the side of life. Yahweh's Foundation, unfortunately, because we've been lied to our entire lives about everything. I cannot just keep hiding this truth. Doesn't matter. You ain't gonna watch anyways. Yahweh's Foundation is the side of the devil. Those are the devil's grounds alone. Yeshua's foundation is the side of life, and Yahweh's foundation is the side of death. If I'm wrong, say something. You won't, though, because you know I'm right. You all know I'm right. Amen. Going home by any moral means necessary is all that matters to me. And in order for me to get home, all of you have to be spiritually skyrocketed. So I'm going to just keep saying things out loud to you that are going to spiritually skyrocket you. I love you very much. I love you very much. And you cannot do anything about my love for you. It may not seem like my love ain't real because of the way I'm talking to you. That's part of the game. It's part of the strategy. To also let you know that the hell you want me to stay in did some damage. A lot of damage. And here's how you, with the 7 ethnics, here's how you approach me. The 7 ethnics of the game. I have a title for them as well now too, or the 4th part of the game, which is the reestablishment part. This is the 4th part of the game, the reestablish mentality, establish mentality. Like I said, it should be self-explanatory. Establish mentality, establish mentality. So that means the 2 outside, before I go on to listing the 7, the 2 outside of the major 4 or the fundamental 4 forces of purification, the 2 outside are Yeshua's establishment, as I just said, or Yahweh's establishment, or the divine character traits establishment versus the devil government's establishment, or the God Christ life force establishment versus the imbalancing devil death government's establishment. You follow what I'm saying? You choose. It's so simple. So here are the what I like to call the 7 regulators of the enemy. The 7 regulators of the enemy. It may not be a catchy title right now, but it may pick up soon. Maybe we'll see. But this is called the 7 regulators of the enemy. I'm gonna list them off because it's a brand new one. It's brand new. I'm gonna list them in detail. Then I'm gonna close the video out after I say some more overview notes. So they are, first, disrespect. They're gonna try to approach you to regulate you with disrespect. When I say regulator, it means like an initial contact. You follow what I'm saying? Like at an initial contact, the people who serve on the devil's side of the field versus who allow the God side of the field to move to and throughout them all into reality to manifest moral grounds. These people are going to approach you and regulate, or at their initial contact, with about 1 or 7 of these things. And depending on the power they're in, the 2 outside. You follow me? And the first one, they're going to regulate with disrespect. Second one, they're going to frustrate. Third one, they're going to humiliate. Fourth one, they're going to annoy. Fifth one, they're going to embarrass. Sixth one, they're going to provoke. And 7th one, they're going to classify and or depict you as something in which they see you fit to be. They have everything in our reality named, even little small things that don't even need a name. The 2 outside are to exploitation and extortion. Those are the 2 outside. They're going to regulate with exploitation or extortion. Now, what's the overview part of me wanting to play that part of the game on you for? Is to bring you awareness of how to, which are the 4 forces of purification, 4 fundamental forces of purification. Stop the enemy. Meaning stop the enemy from disrespecting you, trying to frustrate you, humiliate you, and the other ones. Destroy the enemy's abilities to be able to annoy you, embarrass you, or provoke you. Take away the enemy's power to classify you or dictate anything or depict anything you should be in their lives. Take away their power. That's the 3rd thing of the purification part. But here's the thing though. You have to know what their power is. First of all, what does the word power even mean? Power literally defines as the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a mental faculty or moral quality. You follow what I'm saying? And the only mental faculties and or moral qualities they have mentally see us fail at everything, and their qualities and or their standards are to see us suffer to death. You follow what I'm saying? They are the devil's sword. Devil, evil. You follow me? So taking their power away from them is self-defense in so many ways. Stopping them completely, no matter how you would like to label and describe stopping them to be, is self-defense. Destroying what they have, knowing that they only exist to ensure your life will be miserable. Destroying what they have is not an act of terrorism like they brand it to be, because like I said, the only thing they say anything for at any time is to preserve their lie. They only say or do anything they say or do at any time they say or do it to preserve this lie. That is all. This world is generated, based off of, and preserved with a lie. Any amount of truth that gets into it tears it apart. Just gonna put it into the world and see what happens. some cosmic Jesus truth. This is the part of the truth I'm going to tell. Which part of the truth are you going to tell? You can tell any part of the truth you want. I'm just going to tell this one. I don't even be liking to do this, low-key. Spend all this time recording. I don't even like to do this necessarily. I just do it because it's necessary. Moving forward. So, any amount of truth that gets into this kind of world here gets it destroyed. And then the fourth thing, the fourth fundamental force of purification, defending yourself. Defending yourself. Remember, the only thing they're ever going to do at all times, because the only thing they live to do is attack you and destroy you. Defending yourselves against them at all times is the greatest thing you could possibly do. Protect yourselves. It's morally justifiable. Stop, destroy, take the power from, and or defend yourself against what is immorally corrupt and will not stop until you are just gone. Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's not about a competition with me. I don't seek to compete with any of you at all. It's only about the awareness, knowledge of what needs to be stopped. And anything that I do and say at any time that I do and say it is for the cause, the sovereignty of Principal Heart of Hearts. And who is Principal Heart of Hearts? The King of all kings, or who you would refer to, and what I would refer to simultaneously as the cosmic Jesus Christ, character and behavioral traits, ruling and or governing all of reality. Therefore, peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.